What's happening, guys? My name is OTG and welcome back to Davilo's Journey, episode number 2. Can we smash 15 likes on this brand new episode? It shows me that you guys are enjoying it, and it means I have the motivation to pump out some more episodes because this is the big series on my channel. Then please do leave a like if you enjoy. But we get things started here in qualifying. George Bianchi sitting on top of 8 other drivers, and we go round that corner and Felipe Massa just doesn't move off the racing line. Now the thing is, when I'd done this I was really annoyed with Felipe, but I have to be honest, it was kind of my mistake as well. The thing is though, Felipe Massa shouldn't have been on the racing line. I was on my hot lap, I couldn't change direction, I had already decided to go there, and you know, I couldn't stop in time. So really Felipe should have been off the tracks, hence why we didn't get a penalty for it. Now though, coming onto our lap, we do actually set a lap time and it's a 1 minute 42.568, and that actually puts us down in P18. So coming through onto our very hot lap now on a set of primes, we get a nice purple time in sector 1, a green time in sector 2, so things are looking pretty positive, to be honest. We should easily make our way out of this, and if we didn't get out of Q1 I would probably be a little bit, you know, sceptical about whether or not I am actually half decent at this game. So opening up the DRS now, coming onto the home straight with only 2 minutes remaining, we set a 1 minute 41.4, putting us up in P13, which is where we finished Jenson up in P10. We got ourselves into Q2, but the thing is, will we get ourselves into Q3? That's the important thing. So now we're using DRS, coming onto our first lap time. We're shutting it down to P4 in the bottom lot. Now we got ourselves up into P5. We're 1 minute 41.9. That's not the best time we could set. We can improve upon that maybe. We're coming through now into the final corner with 2 minutes remaining. We're down in P16, but we come on with some DRS, now using not much fuel in the car. We're going to get some nice speed down here, and that's a 1 minute 40.3. That only puts us in P2. We're 7 tenths off the pace, ends up being 8 tenths off, so it looks like we're going to be starting in P12 for this Grand Prix. Kimi Räikkönen scraping his way through there, and Sergio Perez being the man who's just drawn the short straw. So as we step our way into the car in Malaysia, we're actually probably one of the only people that haven't had rain yet. Now it's really surprising. I've done a few more recordings and I've not had any signs of rain. Obviously you're not going to get it in Bahrain, but in Malaysia I was expecting some rain. But we're going to go for the option prime. Now the idea of this, it will either be option prime or option prime option, depending on how I can save these tyres. And so far from what I've noticed on this game, you can save your tyres very nicely indeed. Why? The main reason is because of the mechanics of the car. You can just easily coast your way through, not as much wheel spin, and you can't lock up the tyres due to the brake bar wires, and just in general things seem to be pretty solid. So I had a tutorial here where it said about the race strategy, etc., and you know, I couldn't really care less about that. But the thing I do care about is the fact we're in P12. This can really help us through, especially with this track where you can get nice tight lines up into turn 1, and you can, with the AI going really slowly, you can really gain a few positions. So we're going to have to really push ourselves. You can see the setup, we're on 8 4-wings. I'm mixing some setups up a little bit, looking at different ones on the internet and putting my own personal touch from what I like from the game. From what I can tell, I really do like a mixture of setups. Downforce is quite strong on this game, as this McLaren is actually quite a difficult one to run with. You know, the Mercedes engine is actually quite good on some tracks, but the one main thing I've noticed is that McLaren in general doesn't really have the pace. But when it comes to defending, we can defend against the Red Bulls and Ferraris purely because of this Mercedes engine. But next year, of course, when the game comes out, it'll be a Honda. Surprisingly as well, Daniel Ricciardo or Ricciardo, depending on the pronunciation of your area in the world, has qualified in P2. That was incredible. Why he's qualified in P2 in such a difficult time when Mercedes are dominating on the qualifying sessions. But we're underway we're underway with 5 lights and we're away. We actually got off to a decent start. Sergio Perez doing okay, but Räikkönen with a poor start. Using his slipstream, we're keeping up, and this is one thing I've noticed with it as well. We can actually keep up off the starts. Buttons up into P8 it is. Coming through now, all the cars seem to go very wide, not real good lines now. We're coming through, piercing our way through. We're up into P4 now, just making almost a little slight bit of contact with Alonso, who runs onto the grass now. Ricciardo's been squeezed out, so his P2 qualifying hasn't gone well. He's now down in P5, and you can see Hamilton or Rosberg, one of the Mercedes, is looking for a move now. We break a little bit early, and we're just going to clip the corner, a little bit of a corner cut there. I think you can get away with it. The game's given us it, and Hamilton's only been shunted down into P2 now as well. So coming Rosberg with a great start, obviously. We're up into P3 now, so really, really good start. But the only thing is going to be we're going to have to hold these guys up for the entire race now. Now that can definitely be done. It's just a little bit difficult with this track. But the lucky thing is we've got Ferrari and Renault power behind us, which means we're going to have a little bit of an advantage. The only team we can really be worried about is the Force Indias, our teammate. But these Red Bulls are very good around the corners, and same with the Ferraris. Now on lap 5 we're coming round and we're just going to hold ourselves to it. But Nico Rosberg has retired from the Grand Prix, putting us up into P2, and Lewis Hamilton is in P1 now. Massa has made him up into P3, and he could be a danger down these straights. As you can see, Felipe Massa with that Mercedes-powered engine storms his way past. We brake a little bit early as we're coming into the pits. We're going to hold him to that, and we get ourselves up the inside, and we're into the position now. We're up into the pits, and here we go. Now, the tyres aren't exactly overly worn. Massa's joining us in the pit lane as well, but we need to get ourselves a set of fresh tyres to keep our competitive streak up, and if we want to score some decent points after the disappointment with Daniel Ricciardo yet in the last race where something went weird with the game, we need to get some decent points on the board. Now, putting on a set of the prime tyres, the options look horrible, the beautiful black wall of the tyres, and we get held up for quite a significant amount of time. We're going to be in the 8 seconds. Will it be 9? We're in the 9 seconds, 9.673 seconds. We were held up horrifically there. So the Ferrari, the Renault and the Williams have all got past us. So the guys we're keeping behind us really, but we could deal with, but we didn't really have the raw pace with, have now got past us. And the guys we can compete with are now behind us, which has put us in the position where we should be. But the only issue for me now is we're not going to be able to catch them. But Sebastian Vettel can be caught. Why? This track is very straight line speed based, and we can hopefully get some pace to catch up with him. And if Daniel Ricciardo is also there as well, we can keep up with him. Ferrari are actually a bit of a mixed bag, a bit of a pick and mix, if you like. They sometimes have good pace around some tracks and sometimes good around others. And in this track, they seem to be half decent. But overall, the game's a little bit iffy of tyre and all that. But we come out now. We've got past Kimi Raikkonen through the pit stop stages. Sebastian Vettel is next up ahead, and you can see we've actually closed up the gap quite nicely. We seem to be able to taking advantage of these fresh tyres a lot more than Sebastian Vettel's Red Bull is. And we're coming through now. We're using the slipstream as it's very overpowered now. He's got the red light flashing. We're going to go up the inside break a little bit later, actually quite a similar time. But we're just going to put our car there, and Sebastian Vettel can't deal with that, and that's us up into P8. So actually an overtaking manoeuvre. You don't see many of them nowadays in this McLaren and Mercedes with apart from obviously the first few sectors, but it's actually a really, really good start for us now. We're coming through, and you can see there are cars behind us who are looking very lively. Daniel Kvyat's ahead of us, but Kimi Raikkonen goes past now. We go up the inside, we hold him. We're going to brake a little bit later there. We're going to get a poorer line out of there. Ricciardo should have a decent line, but the cars that are going to really take advantage, you can see the Force India there going around the Red Bull of Sebastian Vettel. He's going to have full advantage now taking on us. Here comes Kimi Raikkonen now, round the outside with DRS, and we're going to go up the inside now, hold it nicely, no contact needed. Ricciardo's going to squeeze his way back into the position, and we're going to hold on to that P7 spot as Daniel Kvyat comes into the pit lane after pitting earlier on lap 2 from my memory. But Daniel, we've got a replay of what's just happened now, and we're coming through, and you can see what really is an issue with this car is. You can see we have got straight line speed, but we don't really have it. We're coming through, and there goes Kimi Raikkonen. He's not exactly a fast car, and we should be dealing with this pretty easily. But for some reason, this Ferrari on this game has got something about it that gives it extra speed compared to us, which, isn't really realistic. The McLaren on the straight line should be a lot more faster than the Ferrari. Why? Well, because it's a Mercedes engine. But there you can see we're breaking through now. Ricciardo really should have been more aggressive then. Oh yeah, I do dive bombs, but they break way too early. And we need to find a way that there needs to be a patch, really, where they have something. But Codemasters aren't going to do much now that the new game's on its way in 2015. Now, Daniel Ricciardo's out in P6. He's pitted, and we're coming through now, and we're into the pits as well. So lap 18, we decide, this is the time to pit. Nico Hülkenberg's ahead of us, and we're going to come in for a fresh set of option tyres. Now, the main reason we're coming for option tyres is because maybe we can make them last, they'll have some pace on them, and hopefully we can actually gain a few positions from it. Maybe get away from Raikkonen and all that. We get held up a little bit at 5.353. But it's not exactly the worst pit stop in the world. We stay ahead of Nico Hülkenberg, the rival as it was. Force India, Williams and McLaren seem to be having a very close-knitted battle at the moment, and that's where the championship, in my opinion, is going to come down to. Now, we're coming out of the pits, and we're actually come out in no traffic, which is really, really important. But Grosjean does get in front of Hülkenberg, and they're having a little tussle behind us, and I think Hülkenberg comes out on top anyway. So lap 28 now, we can see we got really, really poor tyres. We was keeping up with Raikkonen for quite a long time. We almost got past him a few occasions as Lewis Hamilton wins the Grand Prix after Rosberg DNF. We almost got past Raikkonen a few times, but then the tyres just went, and the prime tyres hit their prime as it was. But Hülkenberg is actually doing really well, and we've got so much wheel spin. You can see understeer like mad, and there goes Nico Hülkenberg, who gives us a little tap on the way through there, very cheeky. If that had ended in a crash, I would not have been happy at all with the German. Now the Brazilian comes around the final corner, and Sergio will come home with 10 points, with a 10th place finish and a point on the board, which means he keeps up the record of scoring a point from every race this season, which, you know, could be a target to have. But the Dark Knight rises once again and gets a 10th position. Jenson Button yet to score points, having a really, really torrid time in this McLaren. Maybe we could consider seeing if there'll be a new teammate in the works. But there's your race classifications, with Lewis Hamilton in first, Alonso second, Ricciardo third, Perez fourth, fifth is Vettel, sixth is Massa, seventh is Valtteri Bottas, eighth was Raikkonen, 9th was Hülkenberg, and 10th was Sergio Davilo. So, yeah, and again, of course, 10th in the Drivers' Championship for Sergio, and we're down in 6th in the Constructors' Championship. But we really need to make some headwind. But guys, if you have enjoyed them, please leave a like down below. 15 likes is the target. Subscribe for more, and I will see you guys next time.